Tail sighting. You'll love to see it.
Insane.
Big knockoff, no way. Oh, yeah, this is the game that inspired the Dragapult discussion. I remember now. Good times. Rest in peace, Lando I. Oh, now the Ogerpon is unkillable, except for the other Ogerpon. Proud I moment.
Out moment. What a cool combination of Pokemon. Hey, look, it's Poundite Light.
Proud I
What a
lied.
cool combination of Pokemon.
Proud I lied. Oh yeah, this was like a really good force play. Yeah, that was like that was a really good play. I mean, I guess it's like not that hard to find, but yeah, tight game actually. Like Goldengo probably could have was probably pretty close to living that Ivy Cudgel at -1, to be honest. But yeah, QSNS will be looking to bounce back. This should be a pretty competitive game. Um, let's see.
Meanwhile, Idol is asking me for draft advice in Gen 3.
Bro thinks
What
Shister
a
knows
strange
ADB.
morning.
Insane. Let's see. Earlier this week, we had someone versus someone. What actually happened? I can't remember. Let's see. Page one game. Oh, it was Spurfic versus Tenzai. That's right. Let's see. Oh yeah, this game. Gma versus Sempra. Gma got another win. But honestly, like a pretty interesting like team here. It's like kind of like balancy. Um, I don't know why we're bringing Barrascuda to SCL, but you know there was a vision here. If you turn Pelipper, I guess I can defend that a little bit. Still like Arch. Uh, but yeah, I just think this team is like not particularly solid. Um, whereas this team is like it's pretty good. This is just good Pokemon. Uh, than a Roaring Moon. Okay, I just expended a little too much resources to take out that hands there. And Sinister's not really going to be able to save the Arcalodon. Big knockoff. Oh yeah, that is unfortunate. Damp Rock U-turn Pelipper. Oh wow, that's pretty bulky. It lives this much fun. This is like Sashlando. I guess it could be. Honestly, the Pokemon that were brought were just not as good as the other Pokemon that were brought.
Yeah, yeah, I have to agree.
For voice is kind of interesting, I guess. But yeah, not really a particularly close game here. And then the other game was not particularly close either.
So sad. So ass.
Pow plus Dragapult, goated combination. You get like a lot of early momentum here, taking out the Torn with a pretty massive population bomb, but it was not exactly enough. see. Yeah, this like population bomb turn was really dire. Our Caliban came in and took like 2 hits, and then didn't get like any value out of the defense boost, and then the double ghost pivot to invalidate literally every move on the board.
Double ghost pivot. Absolutely insane.
I just too much momentum lost in this game, and also just I don't really think the team is particularly good. I don't know. I think there's like more efficient ways to run rain than either the team than the mouse hold shit. Like I think it's pretty
It, it,
telling this
it's
one was brought twice and lost twice.
it's kind of funny because like Tenzai's team looks like he's trying to fish the Chim Pao stuff out of Sporific because obviously our Caledon should be good into Pao Knight stuff, but it just didn't work at all here because D Knight's absent. The Iron Hands will absolutely take the chance to click fighting moves in a arch, and Goldango just stuffs everything here in the late game.
Yeah,
Well, I don't even think it gets to that point because Household is dead slot, Polytoad is dead slot. I don't know why there's a Chin Pao on this team.
that is a good question actually. All right, should have the game soon. qsns is online. Is Zern online?
I
Zern is
should
not
probably
online.
grab the stream.
Yeah, good idea. Thanks. But yeah, this game was a little bit of a wash. So we're hoping for some little more entertaining games today. We'll see how it goes. Big story so far this SCL has mostly been POW. POW has been like very elite. Entering this week, it had like 71% win rate. Um, Obviously a very good Pokemon, but a very, very high win rate for a mod that is like being used a lot. So spotlight is on that Pokemon in in
I think the
particular.
other thing that's really big on the POW thing is that if you go back to the stat board, you'll notice that POW has the highest lead use rate out of any Pokemon in the entire like board.
Oh
And it's
wow.
not even close. It's being led like a good quarter of the games and it's still winning off those leads. So it's not just that like it's getting outplayed and put into position. No, it's coming in and it's winning.
Mhm.
It is asserting itself as the dominant Pokemon on the board.
Right, bookmark this. Okay. But yeah, if we take a look at the usage stats so far this tour, Wellspring, Tornadus, and then Chen Pao, like the clear third option. This was like not for reference, like the current tier one Pokemon at DOU are Wellspring, Tornadus, Landorus, Incin, and like Rillaboom, I think it is. Um, is that
Fire
right?
jumped a lot. Yeah.
Um, but Pao is currently sitting at third in usage with a 71% win rate, 76% win rate in games where it was not a mirror. And then the number one lead Pokemon with an 83% win rate.
Yeah.
Balanced Pokemon. But yeah, we see like just a lot of POW plus Wellspring. Like Wellspring plus POW is like, okay, here we have the game. Um, Tag matches for this real quickly. Okay, so here we have double grass, double fire. We got a Heartflame with like probably presumably grassy glide stuff with trick room from Diancie and like potentially like coaching stuff for speed control from the Mew. Kind of an interesting, like more balanced team, and then just like a pretty more standard Tornadus Landorus offense team here. No POW on either side, something to note. Porygon 2 here,
This
probably just trick room for that Gambit, but it's still kind of a little bit of a weird one to bring here.
he
IMO.
loaded Clefo without Flutter.
Literally.
It's just a Porygon now.
Yeah.
But Porygon will do the stat stick thing pretty well.
Kind of an interesting mon here, right? Because you have like the trick room stuff potentially from QSNS. Could be able to sit on that. However, like DNC looks really threatening here. Like if you can handle this like Landorus, right? Like you get some Diamond Storm boost, the game just looks like really, really difficult. Potentially with like body press coming out here. We see a big fake out come out. A Bleak Wind that's gonna do a lot to the Mew. Do we see like an Ice Beam?
That's a
We see a
lot on
Snarl.
Rilla.
Okay. Yeah, that is a lot. Um,
I'm guessing that's Sash Torn then. We see Snarl not get covert cloaked, so with the damage calc, we can assume that's probably Sash
yeah, I think
Torn.
that's like Sash
Wait,
and then like not max HP AV Rilla, if I had to guess. Let's see.
we once again have to ask the question: does the King Gambit have Iron Head?
True.
This is like the fourth game in this SCL where we've had to wonder: does the King Gambit actually beat the Diancie?
Yeah. I think on this tomb, like I'm assuming it's probably like SD, so I would be a little surprised, although I think AV is like a very good set as well, maybe even like better than SD to be honest. But on
Shoot,
this team, it's just like with that trigger mode, I am like wondering if it is like SD because that's what would make sense to me. But it could very
that's a
well just
huge
be
momentum
AV.
swing for QS that just
Yeah,
happened.
very big Bleak Wind Myth, and then an Earth Power whiff into the Landorus. Um, Although the Bleak Wind, I guess, was probably not going to do that much damage at -1, but still not ideal. Here's Ern, right? Landorus comes in here. I'm not really sure like what it's doing unless it's carrying like a more uncommon move. Like I guess it's probably just hitting the Torn with a Sludge Bomb or whatever. But Mew doesn't really want a quick Snarl again, right? With that potential switching of the Gambit in the back. Um, really curious what this moveset is. Snarl, Stealth Rock, maybe like Tailwind, Pollen Puff, Wisp.
Because it has
Um,
Snarl, I don't think it has Ice Beam, so
yeah, I don't think so either. All right, we
I
see
think
a
Landers
P2
is
switch in.
Landers just hanging around for that Sledge Bomb.
Okay, we see the Wisp reveal. That's pretty interesting, right? Let's see. The
It's
P2
with
does,
Snarl.
yeah,
Probably Citrus.
probably like Pollen Puff last, I'd say. That just makes sense
Maybe
with
Taunt on the Landorus. I could see it on this team. The way it's playing balance super hard.
maybe. The Lander is not really in a great position here. Uh, that Ice Beam from P2 is going to be very annoying. I think like for QSNS, you might just go DNC here. It's not like particularly threatened. If you have something like coaching, you can just like switch Diancie, click coaching, and you're gaming. But I think the Landorus got to switch out here. Uh, it's not really going to do enough to the P2. Okay, we see Ensign. Yeah, that works too. Um, Landorus comes back in. We see another Snarl, a big Snarl land on that Landorus. Landorus actually getting chipped pretty low. And then a Terra Blast that's going to do literally like 8% after grassy terrain. So not a whole lot of momentum here from Zern. This is like not ideal. Um, we do have that fake
This
out
Mew would
support.
this Mew would be full HP if it was leftovers.
Really.
Run leftovers on your Snarl sets, guys. You're trying to keep it around longer.
Maybe don't do that. Citrus is better. It could also be something like
Nah.
Cloak. Although it can't be Cloak. It gets Sped Drop from Liquid. Okay. We see Landers come in. Oh, big Pollen Puff. That's a really good play. Reading the Protect and getting the Real Boom back to being healthy. Um, do run out of terrain here, but Real Boom's just being used for fake out here, and like Sludge Bomb from Landers not going to hit it hard at -1. Um,
I don't see a good path forward for Zern now. He's very clearly getting outlasted in this game. QS has a plethora of healing options at his disposal
that's true.
and has a rocks advantage. And Talon honestly isn't going to do that much for Zern if he manages to get that Torn back in now because like the Landers is already too low for it to be like a reliable win con here.
Right. If you're qsns, you can just like click fake out into the Landorus, maybe even go back out into instant on the Mew slot, and then potentially threaten another fake out. Um, you have to be pretty careful of how you're like using instant here because you don't want to like activate that Defiant. Um, I think like yeah, Zern's like one win con here is like really like the big Earth Power column and a U-turn. A good play from QS. Rocky Helmet reveal. That's interesting. I can definitely see it as a way to like break sashes and stuff like POW, etc. Um, but I think Zern's win con here is really like that Gambit. Um, you have to really hope it like can carry here. But I think like getting through like that Harflame stuff and like it just looks really hard. Well, it does depend on what the instant clicks here. Probably just a parting shot. Um,
I think
maybe
we're
into
going to
that
see
Rillaboom.
Hearthflame win conning the end of this game.
Okay, we see a knockoff. Oh, it's Scarf Landers. Okay, interesting. I was
It,
wondering
it does make
about that.
sense.
Yeah.
The Solo Landorus is more likely to go Scarf just because, well, you can get the jump on everybody with that.
Mhm.
You don't really need to be life orb on a team like this either. The way he's playing for more chip and balance play, I could see it. It's a good positional tool for him. Landorus is free to U-turn now if it so pleases, or just click Earth Power again.
Yeah.
QSNS could do something psychotic and just choose to eat Earth Power with the Incineroar to KO the Landorus. He obviously doesn't need to do that in the position that he's in.
No, I
He's
think that's like the
very
best
clearly
play.
up.
I think he just flare blitz the Landers. All right, we see a Tornadoes come in here. Um, Chancer will whiff, but Earth Power is not going to kill. Um, yeah, and the knockoff's going to come out. That works too. Sash Lando. Um, so it does even less to Ensign. So yeah, nice to get that like Landers out of the way. Dancy looks pretty like unpunishable except from the potential Iron Head from Gambit, or I guess Overpod as well. But Overpod's damage output is not like quite that high. If like the Diamond Storm gets a boost, it's not ideal. Zorn does get to reposition here, right? Like you do get some more momentum. Um,
Mm,
However, getting that pollen puff off on that Rillaboom earlier was like pretty huge. Because Rilla is a relatively safe switch in here, I'd say. But honestly, you could just like sack him on here probably, and then like position like fake out plus DNC. Um,
Need to be careful about not losing too many of your Gambit checks. It's the only thing.
yeah, Mew's a pretty safe switch in as well here. Rain Dance, okay, it's gonna do a lot. Bring the Mew down pretty low, but that's a big crit U-turn. Yeah, it's gonna bring the Ogerpon
It's
all
in
the way
glide
down.
range now. It's
Yeah.
in glide range. May not have been in glide range before, but now it definitely is.
Well, I think Ogerpon's now dead to like one turn of grassy terrain into intimidated grassy glide, which I don't think it was before. It definitely would have lived that before. Um, let's see. Close this in the chat.
I'm, you know, I'm slightly disappointed to see that Zern has still relied on this double focus sash genie's core that he's been spamming for like 4 weeks now. It's been seeing less and less success every time it gets used.
All right, we just see the Rillaboom come in here. Wellspring probably needs to like protect here in the face of like a glide or a fake out, and you can like get instant back in. probably on the torn slot. Well, that rocks chip is really like kind of adding up. Um, and Mew is like given like the way the Wellspring is kind of pinned here, like the Mew is kind of click, free to click something.
I think QS is just gonna click Blakewind here. Very free to do so.
Okay,
It's
takes
called on the protect.
reapplies fake out pressure with the instant.
There's just
Pretty,
no cloak on the Torn to protect it at all here. I think a
yeah,
fake out plus a glide will actually KO the Landorus now.
the lander is.
The Torn. Really hope this isn't a 6-0. Because it's starting to look that way.
I do not even think this game is over at all. Let's see.
There is still a King Gambit in the back.
All right, would you see you try? I think that was like a pretty good safe play here. Right up is kind of nice here, right? Like Liquid's pretty free. However, I think if you're QSNS, you probably just go back out into Mew and click Wisp on a Gambit. It seems relatively unpunishable. Should live like a another Bleak Wind. Let's see.
I I would hope so. It should. It'll be
It definitely
close though.
does. I would see Landers come in. Um,
Yeah, he's just gonna force Gambit to Terra.
does it really force it, right? It was revealed Scarf earlier, so you could just click Sucker Punch and Bleak Wind into that slot. Let's see. After the Scarf was knocked off. I don't know if that's like the correct switch in there. I think Mew was definitely like more safe switching. I guess Instant is relatively safe. Probably can just like click a knockoff, I guess. Or even a parting shot in that torn slot. Actually, no, I just click knockoff. You want to like eliminate the Bleak Wind clicker.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of it for your grass core in the back.
All right, we do see the Terra Fairy. Um, big speed drop. Low kick comes out and knocks out the instant.
That
That is a good turn for Zern.
that's an
Um,
AV Gambit.
yeah, which does mean the DNC is threatened. However, that's good information for QSNS here, right? Um, you know you have to be more careful with that DNC. Um,
Well, I'm a little surprised he took out the Incineroar because, well, USNS kind of wants Incineroar to go down with a Gambit running around in the late game here,
mhm.
but maybe it'll work out. Landorus is definitely threatened here. Like that Mon is kind of dead slotted.
Well, it can just click Sludge Bomb now, right? Like Ogerpon's probably faster than the Torn. Um,
It's Sagitorn, so it should be max speed.
oh wait, I'm stupid. Yeah, I got the speeds mixed up. Yeah, then I don't under why did he go Harflame there? I feel like needed to go Mew one of the previous two times. Really, like
He's positioning Landorus sack plus Rilla with
I
Hearthflame
guess,
here.
but like I don't think that's correct. Uh, you do get terrain reapplied, and the brain's gonna stop, so that's kind of nice.
Because the Gambit can't set up, so there isn't really a great way to punish that. As if you don't take out the Torn, you're going to lose the Gambit to Sludge Bomb. I mean, the window. I keep mixing up the genies. I am off my game today.
Was cooked. This game's been pretty close though. A good game so far. All right, we see a Terrifier come out. It's gonna let it potentially like pick up a knockout on this instant. Glide. Okay, that's gonna do nothing. Okay, nice.
Rocky Helmet. Rocky Helmet Incineroar is kind of crazy.
It was revealed earlier. Um, I think it's like valid. Like you, if like POW targets you, like it procs the helmet, and then you just kill it, right? Like I think that's probably mainly what it's for. It also just punishes fake out pretty well as well.
I
Um,
think you got to go JNC in one of these slots. You're right.
yeah, for sure. Um, Probably on the realist slot. Let's see. Yeah, I really would have liked to see like an IV cudgel the previous turn. Let's see. Big flare blitz knocks itself out to recoil. U-turn. Let's see.
Torn is still able to switch out if it wants to, just barely. Benson has taken itself out, and now there's a +1 ogre pawn running around.
With glide. Will KO the gambit.
That'll
Where he's at.
KO everything but the Porygon.
Yeah. Okay, so QSNS has positioned the pretty good position here.
You need Wellspring to pull off a miracle in this position, and I don't think it can because it's at like 10%.
Yeah. This looks like a pretty safe like glide into Trick Room. Um, the Torn doesn't even have taunt. Like it's
I
kind of
mean,
dire.
you could
Yeah,
Diamond
this
Storm if you really want to.
I think you definitely Trick Room. Let's see.
Bonk.
Yeah, there's the Trick Room. It just ensures like the DNC is faster than that King Gambit this next turn, right? Do you see a rain dance?
Is
Do we
that
see a
Pori going to
defense
click Thunder?
boost? No, just a Terra
No
Blast.
Thunder.
It's leftovers DNC. Yeah, the Gambit, I don't think it can do enough here, right? Like it's AV, it can't even protect. Like Rillaboom can just like fake out on it. DNC's slower than at this turn, and then like Glide will just kill it.
Like,
Yeah, this game looks pretty wrapped. Yeah, yeah.
game over.
I'm not entirely a fan of like the way QSNS like played it, but it got the job done. Maybe I'm just a hater. So, and I guess like yeah, you just had a lot.
Yeah,
You had a very large advantage anyways, so like there wasn't like a you needed to play it a specific way really. Uh, but yeah, DNC's just gonna wrap this one up. Pretty good game here.
I think
Nice.
you. I think US made a great call into the way Zern's been team building with the double fake out core into a man who has refused to bring Covert Cloak on his Torn, and that INC for the tail end response.
Yeah,
Just a great team to slow down the tempo and got a huge advantage out of the early game once he got that rocks turn up.
for sure.
USNS is having a great SCL now. He's had a couple of turns that have been kind of questionable to me, but his record doesn't lie. He's doing good.
Both players are now 4-2. So we will be seeing the 3-1 players playing each other in just about 40 minutes. So
Oh, how to kill the time. US really didn't even capitalize on the Mew as much as he could have in this game because it just is so good into everything here.